It's one of London's best-kept secrets. An underground railway that almost nobody has travelled on until now. For almost 80 years, trains ran clear across the capital, 6 miles from east to west, with never a problem of overcrowding or body odour. This is the forgotten labyrinth of the mail rail. Well, it's a wonderfully intimate experience, possibly a bit cramped for some, but we're travelling in this kind of torpedo-like object deep under the streets of London, unbeknownst to the thousands of commuters up above. Riding alongside Newsnight on this maiden-ish voyage is Ray Middlesworth. 30 years clocked up on the mail rail, but this is his first day as a passenger.
Well, this is a luxury riding around in this train. It's smooth and it's much more roomy than the maintenance wagon I was used to driving. That was built in 1927, and you feel every lump and bump as you ride around.
And I know there's a sort of graveyard for old trains down here. Do you see a lot of ghosts as you go round yourself, your memories of the place?
Here is loaded with echoes for me, the memories and people I've known working here, and every event was linked to a place somewhere on the railway.
Once aboard, parcels and letters travel over the track at 35 miles an hour. Miniature engines running on a 2-foot track give the whole thing the Alice in Wonderland fascination of model trains and automatic signals.
It was 1927 when the first wagons of letters and parcels rolled through the narrow tunnels of the Post Office Railway, as it was formerly known. The idea was to keep the all-important mail free of road traffic congestion. The mail rail employed hundreds of staff and moved 4 million items a day.
Ready to go and away.
They made their own entertainment in this twilight world with the aid of a dartboard.
They worked out they just have enough time for a throw each before the next train arrived, and they couldn't leave their station, they couldn't walk off, so while they were standing there they had to go to dance.
But according to Royal Mail, the railway became more expensive than moving post by road, and so in 2003 the last postie turned off the lights and left.
I well remember 2011, the first time I got to come down Mail Rail to see whether there was the chance of opening up. It was much like a Marie Celeste situation. The last rota from the last week of operation was still on the notice board. There were sort of unfinished cups of coffee, bits of chocolate bar. There were people's belongings left in the lockers, their tools on the side. And that really was part of the appeal. And when we've brought our friends and those who might come to ride here in the intervening years, they've all said, try and leave as much of that as you can.
The platform you're about to see looks much as it did on the day it shut down in 2003. Ray, can you describe
But now the railway's reopening as a visitor attraction, with 2 battery-powered trains specially made in the UK for getting on for £1 million the pair.
Let's follow a few of those letters. This is the Colonel. He's writing to the famous poet W.H. Auden at the GPO film unit.
It's a perfect storm for nerds, isn't it? A railway, effectively a secret railway. Stamps are involved.
But the rest of us, assuming we're not nerds, which is a big assumption, can enjoy it too, perhaps?
Well, also because it looks a bit like the log flume at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Presumably it goes quite fast, so you've got the basic appeal of momentum.
You can feel when it's going down or up, which is a sign of a good tunnel. And I like the, no disrespect, unvarnished quality of it. You can see the stalactites, or is it mites, from the ceiling. You can see the cladding, the rings that are put in to make the tunnels.
We are occasionally asked whether, like so many London Underground terminals, you might find a mouse or a rat down here. Because there were no people riding the trains and because there were no sort of passengers on the platforms, there was no food for such things. So unusually for Underground London, it's a relatively rodent-free and ghost-free tunnel.
Well, you can't have everything.
You can't have everything.